Good evening, viewers. This is Udarshan Meghalaya. We welcome you to today's edition of the news. Before we go in details, first let's have a quick look at the headlines. India's growth accelerates amid GST 2.0. Push, says Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma launches ProBites to promote gut health and youth innovation. Minister of Soil and Water Conservation Marcus N. Marak inaugurates water harvesting structure in West Khasi Hills. And normalcy restored in Garo Hills following non-cooperation movement. The news in detail. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced that GST 2.0 reforms have significantly boosted India's economy, leading to record sales in electronics, automobiles and consumer goods during the festive season. Speaking at the GST Bachat Utsav press conference, she emphasized that GST rate cuts are benefiting the common man. Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnav highlighted a 25% surge in electronic sales during Navratri. Attributing it to falling food prices and rising consumer demand, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal noted a spike in vehicle sales and record-breaking performance in the electronics sector.
Day one of GST 2.0, particularly with 43-inch and 55-inch models showing the highest jump. Electronics retail chain Vijay Sales, that company, saw more than 20% sale in their growth in that 1 month, which is effectively only 8 days. LG Electronics India also noted exponential growth in sales during the Navaratri season. So with the fast-moving consumer goods, particularly when food, personal care items, oils and nutrition items have all gone up. There's just one data, there are few that I can quote from that 55 zones from where we are collecting data. Very interesting. While 5% reduction happened, there are items which have actually benefited by receiving more than what has been given in the tax benefit.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma on Friday launched ProBites, a student-driven food brand by St. Anthony's College, focusing on gut wellness through probiotic-rich snacks and dairy products. The initiative aims to promote healthy, sustainable eating while nurturing youth entrepreneurship. During the event, Sangma felicitated the college's future founders and highlighted Meghalaya's goal of becoming a $10 billion economy by 2028. Saloni Verma, Executive Director of Prime, praised the state's efforts in establishing incubation centers to support startups and skill development.
So when we come to entrepreneurship, somehow the mindset has not been correct for us as a state, as a country. We wait for people, post 25 years, 30 years and 40 years to start a business. The youngsters at the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, if you want to start a business, if you want to take the risk, that is the time you take the risk. And sadly, we don't have that ecosystem in our state and our country to be able to provide that kind of a ecosystem for the youths to take that risk. And that is why we started Prime, and that's why we're having programs like these, and that's why I'm here for the last 2 hours talking to you.
Minister of Soil and Water Conservation Marcus N. Marak inaugurated the Longdong Sosu 2 water harvesting structure on Friday in West Khasi Hills district. The event also marked the flagging off of vehicles under the Climate Adaptative Community-based water harvesting project funded by the Asian Development Bank. The ceremony was attended by dignitaries including Nongstoin MLA Gabriel Walang, Deputy Commissioner Garrett Ellison Dykes and community leaders. Marak emphasized Meghalaya's pioneering state water policy introduced in 2019 and highlighted the implementation of 530 water harvesting structures across all 12 districts, covering 12,000 hectares of catchment area.
This is the first state in the country to come up with the water policy. So with this water policy, in line with this water policy, all these soil and water conservation projects, which is called climate adaptive community-based water harvesting projects, are being come up. The government, under the leadership of Konrad K. Sangma, has already initiated this project long back, but practically the implementation is starting now. Most of the projects under this climate adaptive community-based projects are being implemented already across the state.
Manghai Room Higher Secondary School, West Giant Hills, marks its silver jubilee with a grand celebration under the theme, "By God's grace we stand, for His glory we grow." The event honoured 25 years of educational service and community impact. Education Minister Lakman Rimboy attended the occasion as chief guest, announcing Rs 25 lakh in developmental support and 2 Maruti Eco vans for student transport. He praised the school's journey and emphasizing upcoming reforms in Meghalaya's teaching cadre. Principal Termay Chinnam Pamthet paid tribute to the late founder Srimati Ayam Pangat Pamthet and shared the school's vision for future growth.
When I artfully ki eco Maruti bapin kit with school, artfully. Now retire that you can come to the school. He's up on the earth bapin le. Shalak when I. But now retire, he can come to the school. Chief Minister with sanction, kat sanla, narita ka dito become the school, lamba ka SDF, tawag argargan pi, unsa ay haka kat artery ugnay, November arhajar arpusan.
A 2-day workshop under the Adi Karmayogi Abhiyan, a flagship initiative of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs, commenced today at the BDO Office Conference Hall. The program aims to empower tribal community members as proactive village leaders. Participants included headmen, VEC members, ASHA and Anganwadi workers, SHGS and other stakeholders from Nongstoin and Rambrai CNRD blocks, reflecting strong community engagement. S. Nongse, GRDO of Nongstoin block, served as chief guest, urging attendees to champion change in their villages.
Jadi tuhi jom ketika program dalam negara surga kadon kita jadi tu ban ai kajing syakri ke bapakan ang sakit paiba. Hagabar kita kajing syakri ke nagutai paiba kade ban donru haka kajing IT pura yang kekam ban le. Ya kita bijing akibat paiba kita ni kino som tahu ni kidon hadis no kita.
VPP MDCS, led by leader of the opposition Andrew Shulai, have called for an urgent special session of the Giant Hills Autonomous District Council to address escalating tensions in Lapangat village along the Assam-Meghalaya border. In a letter to GHADC Chief Executive Members, Tombor Shiwat highlighted disruptions to local farmers during the paddy harvest and condemned remarks by Chief Minister Konrad Sangma. The situation worsened following a statement by the Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council rejecting Meghalaya's historical claim over Block 1 and Block 2. The VPP urged the council to pass a resolution affirming jurisdiction over the disputed land to safeguard local autonomy.
And then we condemn the statement beyond order. We have report lah, wah ini yang ki MDC yang VP untuk kesini, yo di mana, wah no CM yang ni, yo CM buat council ni, pada di mana di yo juta yo convene dengan special session, wah ni convene dengan special session, dengan urgent special session convene, yo resolution dapat house, bahkan ni memang demand kini ke isu tu ada yang untuk ke parti ni, yang untuk ke parti. Ini habis teli. Kami di mana resolution. Wah gitu kita kamtang nama tibi kata apa hak untuk elikasi Limantan hak wajib pet yang ke district council.
A total curfew has been enforced by the district magistrate in Lapangap village due to rising border tensions, severely impacting local farmers during the paddy harvest season, with nearly all 350 to 400 households dependent on agriculture. Concerns over livelihood disruptions are mounting. Chandami Sungo, chairman of the Hinyotrap Border Dispute Redressal Forum, stated that Shiliang Mintang Ilaka has urgently appealed to the district administration to restore peace. A community meeting on the issue is scheduled for Saturday evening to address the crisis and seek resolution. The Garo Hills region resumed normal activity this morning following a two-day non-cooperation movement observed on October 16th and 17th. The shutdown enforced from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. had brought the region to a standstill. Today, bustling streets in Tura, Dadengre, Rongram, Sadolpara and Pulbari reflecting a swift return to routine. Shops reopened, vehicles moved freely and markets were crowded with shoppers and vendors. A few schools also resumed operations, signalling a full recovery from the temporary disruption. The first block-level Chief Minister Youth Engagement Program 2025 concluded on Friday at Wapong CNRD Block, East Janta Hills, organized by the District Sports Officer in collaboration with the Block Development Office. The two-day event saw enthusiastic participation from 6 schools and 2 societies. Dignitaries including SDO Manish Kumar, ASP Spear Singh Pasleng and DSO Stephanie M. Rapsang attended the closing ceremony. The program featured folk songs, poetry, story writing, a science mela and a talent show, with 36 winners awarded prizes. DSO Rapsang noted this was the first block-level rollout across Wapung, Saipung and Lumshnong blocks, with district-level competitions scheduled for November.
This is the first Chief Minister Youth Exchange Program that we are conducting in the district. That is with the block level. We're starting with the Wapung block. Next week we'll be moving to Saipung block, and then the week after that to Lumshnong block. And after that, in the first week of November, we are going to bring all the winners from the block so that we can have the district level. And then after the district level, the winners will be selected to represent the district at the state level.
The Umsning People's Front has announced the UPF Super Cup football tournament to promote youth football and raise awareness against substance abuse. The tournament will begin on October 22nd, 2025 at Umran Nyang Bernai Football Ground, inviting teams from across the Umsning constituency. UPF General Secretary Kade Khar and Sports Secretary Sumar Lang swear shared that the champion team will win ₹1 lakh, while the runners-up will receive ₹50,000. The initiative aims to showcase local talent and deliver a strong message against drug addiction.
Sa pelong ya ka UPF Super Cup football tournament arja aroksan kaban salong ha arok trik mentau benai. Bat ka jaka kandai hapo ka badan football jong ka sport club umran yang pernah tinggi kerpat ia pi ki tim Snong baro opini simbenta hakani ka football tournament kaban sa long mentau benai. Bat ka jing temu jong kani ka football tournament ka long ban kentiu ya ka sport kam kerpang ya ki tim Snong ba pinyo oben simbenta kam tak me bakani ka tournament ka ba pelong menta ka long ba ka prize kandai ka ba silap ya ki nong job.
Now for the weather report. First, let's take a look at the weather report in Tura. Minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature was 30 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 59%. Moving on to Shillong, minimum temperature was 16 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature was 24 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 57%. Meanwhile, in Jowai, minimum temperature is 16 degrees Celsius and maximum temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity is 56%. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says dry weather most likely. Before we wind up, let's have a look at the headlines once again. India's growth accelerates amid GST 2.0 push, says Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma launches ProBites to promote gut health and youth innovation. Minister of Soil and Water Conservation Marcus N. Marak inaugurates water harvesting structure in West Khasi Hills. And normalcy restored in Garo Hills following non-cooperation movement. That's all for today's bulletin. Until we meet again tomorrow, have a good night.